First of all, it's really, really hot and I've just showered, so excuse this. And if I start to get like wet in the face or sweat or anything, you know why? It's so warm. I just can't. It's too warm. Anyways, lately on BookTube there's been this trend to read first chapters of books from your TBR to decide if you want to keep them or not and read them soon or not. And I quite like that because, surprise, I have a really big TBR. So I'm gonna do that today. I've picked 10 books and I'm gonna read the first chapters and tell you a bit about it and my impressions and whether or not I'm gonna keep them. I especially like the one that Lena did. I'm gonna leave the link to that down below because she always read the first sentence to kind of give you an impression of the book. I wanted to do that. Then I realized most of these books are German, so that won't really help you if I read the first sentence. Sorry about that. I think I'm gonna do like a whole video on like bilingual reading tendencies at some point, because I find it so interesting. Like I've talked to a lot of my friends about it, with like being able to read German books and also English books, or like a friend of mine also reads French books and that kind of stuff. And most of us read mostly English, which is weird because we're German. But for now, I'm gonna read first chapters. So let's start with this one. I bought this because of the cover, gonna be honest with you, because it's pretty and it's see-through and I quite like that. It has this kind of, yeah, it's cool. This is called Darling Days by Yo Tillet White. I'm sorry, I butchered that so much. It's about a trans teenager, I think. Female to male. Yeah, I think it's kind of more the childhood age, which I found interesting. So from the description it sounds like it's mostly about the relationship to the mother and how the mother reacts to it. It's quite a chunk of a book, which is mostly why I haven't read it yet, but it sounds interesting. So let's give it a try. Okay, on the first page I have like 2 sentences or so. I already love this. I don't think I even have to read the rest. This is already so poetic and pretty. Yeah, okay. I love this. It's so poetic. There are beautiful metaphors in this just first... Well, it's not really a first chapter, it's a letter from the kid to the mother. Definitely gonna read this. I just realized that I'm probably gonna wanna read all of these books immediately after this. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Okay, on to the next one. Let's go on with this one. This is Die Liebe Gott macht blau by Arto Pasilina. I think this is this is Finnish in the original. So it's basically a book about God taking a break and a mortal human taking his place for a bit. Which sounds really funny, but I think there'll also be like some elemental truths about faith and humanity, and I just thought it sounded interesting. So let's go for it. Yeah, this is more funny, I think, than like, yeah, deep. But maybe I just read the first chapter, so maybe it's gonna get deep. But it sounds funny. It sounds interesting. I find it really funny that it starts with like a description of what God looks like, which is kind of weird because like you're not supposed to create an image of God. But it's also kind of, you know, this is probably quite sarcastic and I'm gonna accept it because it is funny to read. So I think this is gonna stay on the list, but not immediately. This is gonna stay on the list to like, I think this is good for vacation at some point. A light vacation read. But I'm gonna keep it for now. I'm gonna be so bad at actually giving books away. Let's take something that's not quite my style. Set This House in Order by Matt Ruff. I bought this despite not actually liking this sort of book. It's kind of like a horror. Yeah, it's more like psychological horror, and I don't really like reading that, but I read something else by Matt Ruff that wasn't supposed to be my style, but I fell in love with it. What's it called? Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff. I completely adored that book. It is really gruesome at some points, but most of it is just amazing. So I thought I'm gonna give this a try, but I've had this on my TBR for almost 2 years because I'm kind of scared of reading it. So I'm gonna go into this now, and if there's something in the first chapter that strikes me as creepy or possibly nightmare-inducing, I'm gonna give this away. Because as much as I loved Lovecraft Country, I'm not gonna get nightmares. I suppose I should explain about the house. Aunt Sam says that a good storyteller only reveals important information a little at a time to keep the audience interested. But I'm afraid if I don't explain it all now, you'll get confused, which is worse than not being interested. So just bear with me, and I promise to try not to bore you later. See, that's why I like Matt Ruff. I get his writing style. I get what his characters are going through and thinking and feeling. See, that's what I meant. Now I'm intrigued. Now I want to keep reading. Because there is creepy stuff, but it's all in like metaphors. And I really, really like Matt Ruff's writing style because, as I said, I just get what he means. I get what the characters mean by their words, even if it's a lot of metaphors. And with the metaphors I can deal with the creepy stuff. This is going on top of the TBR pile. Damn it. Okay, next one. Let's take a big one. Look at this. Look at this. I've had this since my very first semester, so almost 4 years now. Because at my university we have this little book market where you can give them books you don't want to have anymore, and then you can get books for like €2. And I got this chunker for free because it's a proof copy and you can't sell those. Das verlorene Buch von Montemar by Marie Ronberg, so The Lost Book of Montemar. And this is basically authors and their characters living on an island, which sounds so cool. It always has like really cute illustrations. I love this, but it might be more of a children's book, which isn't a problem for me. I love children's books, but yeah, the illustrations look kind of childish. I'm kind of disappointed. I don't like the writing style. Damn it. I think I might actually have to get rid of this one. Like, the story sounds so interesting, but I really don't like the writing style. I'm just not getting into it. I find it quite difficult to stay focused on the writing style. Sorry. I was really excited to meet you. I'm not anymore. Sorry. Bye, book. But hey, Success! On to the next one. Let's do this one. This is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I got this from a friend because her brother was getting rid of it. I've only read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. And I love the writing style, but it was really creepy and I still get nightmares from it, so gonna see what this one is. The story kind of reminds me of Coco, the Disney film. Obviously the illustrations don't, but I really like the illustrations. I love this cover so much. So yeah, let's give it a try. I forgot that the main character is called Nobody. This is perfect. I love this. Neil Gaiman is so weird in the best sense possible. Like, it's such a weird and bizarre but also unique form of fantasy, and I adore that. But it also gets creepy at some points, and the thing is, I never quite know when it gets creepy. Like, there's no warning signs, it's just suddenly not my territory anymore. This seems kind of dark, but it's described in a really beautiful way. So I'm gonna put this on the TBR. I really like the main character already. I also like who I'm guessing is gonna be the antagonist. I like the way he's described. And Neil Gaiman's really good with like setting the mood and describing the atmosphere and the surroundings, so I'm gonna keep reading this. I'm kind of disappointed that there's no illustrations in this because I really like the cover illustrations. But yeah, also going back on the TBR. God, this is not helpful at all. Okay, another chunk of a book. My mom gave this to me because she really loved it and she thought I should read it. And the thing is, it has like this beautiful little letter from her in the front. So if I don't want to have it, I'm gonna give it back to her. This is Alles Glück kommt nie by Anna Gavalda. This is a French translation, so let's go through it. I don't think I like this. It feels like the sentences aren't connected. I think she's doing that on purpose to kind of be intriguing, and there's a lot of like open questions already, which some people like, but I kind of get annoyed by that. So yeah, I think I might just give this back to my mom. Let's do this. This is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I think that's how you pronounce the name. I did look it up, but I'm not sure. My dad got this for me because he likes to give me the English version and then buy himself the German one and read it together. However, so far there was no success in something we both like. So let's see what I think about this one. I think I actually really like this. The writing style kind of reminds me of George Eliot, which, if you know me, you know that I adore George Eliot, so that's a good one. I'm kind of having the reading challenges for the reading rush in the back of my mind, and this is the first book by Chinua Achebe. And one of the challenges is to read an author's first book, so might do this one. Also, it's quite like a short book, so I think I'm gonna do this. I know that there's also been like high praise and I think even some award at least, like, yeah, there's been a lot of talk about this book, I know that, so I'm gonna keep this. I think I really enjoy this. I'm not sure if my father actually read this yet. Gonna have to ask him. But I really adore this. I really like the writing style. I think I'm not gonna like the characters, but maybe that's on purpose. But yeah, interesting book. If you've read this, let me know what you thought of the characters. Like, no spoilers, but let me know what you thought of the characters, because I'm getting the feeling that I'm not supposed to like them. Okay, next one. Let's do a little rom-com thing. Again, my mom got me this. This is Kopf über Bauch by Sabine Marie Kunz, and this is like quite a cheesy one, also quite a short one, so this might be a good reading rush one as well, you know, always want to get the short books for the readathons. And I also think this is, yeah, this is in original German, so no translation. Okay, I get why my mom got me this. Yeah, I get why she got me this. The main character's kind of like her a bit. I like this. I think this is gonna be quite a funny and light-hearted read, but you know, every once in a while that's good. So, gonna keep this as well. Nice and short. Probably good for the readathon. Next one. The Messiah's Machine. Messiah's Machine by Chris Beckett. I've had this one for ages. I got it like, I think 4 years ago, maybe. Basically, this is about a dystopian future where robots work with humans, like we're kind of equal, and there's this one robot who I think works with the police, if I remember correctly. And she does something wrong and she's supposed to be like rebooted, but then she would forget her characteristics, her memories, like kind of her personality, and her partner, who's human, wants to, yeah, keep them from erasing her. And I find that really interesting. Like, it's probably gonna be weird with the romance a bit, but I think it's interesting to think about like how technology works and how much of it is individual. Interesting. I'm not sure I like the main character, the protagonist. I like the way he describes his life. It's like a really kind of normal way of describing your own life. Like, sometimes with main characters I get kind of annoyed with how special their life is and how special they see themselves. So this is, it's nice to have a normal character as a protagonist. I'm not quite sure I like him yet, but I like the futuristic version of this. I find this really interesting. Again, with the reading rush, this might be my non-human main character, because we have the machine. I think there's also religious aspects, because there is the Messiah's Machine, so we kind of have this like religious robot group, which is interesting. There's nothing about it in the first chapter yet, but I'm excited to see where that goes, so definitely gonna keep this. And the last one, we've made it to the last one. This is Slam by Nick Hornby. I've only ever read A Long Way Down by Nick Hornby and saw the film. I like the film more than the book, and I know there's also a film for this one, but I wanna try reading the book as well before I watch the film. So yeah, I also know that this is about skateboarding in some parts. I think it's less about skateboarding than about like the life of the protagonist and what's going wrong. But I like skateboards. got rid of Steve, her rubbish boyfriend. That's a nice way of putting it. If you knew something about me, you might actually care about some of those things. That's interesting for a main character to say. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that, because I don't want to get too much into the story, but I definitely want to read this. I definitely want to read this. I really like the protagonist. I like his sense of kind of dry, sarcastic humor. Excited to read this. There we go. Look at that! I got rid of 2 really chunky books. Now, don't be mistaken, I have more on my TBR. But with those books I already know that I want to read them, so I didn't even try. So, these are the books I've decided to keep. These are the ones I've decided not to keep. Thank you for reading with me. If you've read any of those books, even the German ones, or maybe the original ones of my German translations, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if there's one that I should definitely read like right away. I mean, I want to read all of these right away now. As I said, there's a problem with this challenge. But yeah, thanks for reading with me. I hope you always have a reason to smile. I hope you have a TBR that's a little bit smaller than mine. And I shall see you soon. Bye!